Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. What would you push someone to risk everything, even stage a prison break, just to take a baby and run? Because in Weatherfield, one desperate decision from Becky McDonald turns Coronation Street into absolute chaos. One of the most explosive storylines in Coronation Street history unfolds when Becky McDonald escapes from prison and kidnaps baby Connie, triggering a frantic manhunt and leaving the entire Weatherfield community in shock. What begins as a desperate act spirals into a tension, emotional drama that pushes every character to their breaking point. When it comes to intense, emotional storytelling, Coronation Street has always known how to keep viewers glued to their screens. But this particular storyline raises the stakes in a way few others ever have. At the center of it all is Becky McDonald, a character once known across Weatherfield for her fierce loyalty, bold personality, and fiery spirit. But when the story begins, Becky is no longer the confident woman the residents once knew. Instead, she is sitting alone behind prison bars, her life completely shattered. Inside that cold prison cell, Becky's world has become painfully small. The days feel endless, the nights even longer, and the thoughts racing through her mind refuse to give her peace. The woman who once thrived in the lively chaos of Weatherfield now finds herself surrounded by concrete walls of steel doors. Every passing day only deepens her sense of loss. The memories of the life she once had begin to haunt her, replaying over and over in her mind like a cruel reminder of everything she's lost. As time goes on, the isolation begins to wear her down. Regret, anger, and heartbreak slowly mix together into something much more dangerous. Becky starts convincing herself that the world has taken everything from her unfairly. And the more she dwells on that belief, the more determined she becomes to take something brave. For Becky, that something becomes baby Connie. Meanwhile, life back in Weatherfield appears to be moving forward. The Cobbles street continue their usual routines, with neighbors chatting, shopkeepers opening their doors, and residents trying to get on with everyday lives. But beneath the surface, a sense of unease begins to grow. Rumors start circulating that Becky hasn't been behaving normally in prison. Guards whisper her causing disturbances, acting erratically, and making strange phone calls that raise suspicion. At first, these whispers don't seem like much more than prison gossip. But behind those walls, Becky is quietly reaching a breaking point. Her desperation is growing stronger by the day, slowly turning into a dangerous obsession. Then comes the moment that changes everything. During a chaotic incident inside the prison, alarms suddenly begin blaring. Guards rush to contain the situation. Prisoners are being moved around in confusion, and for a few crucial moments, the usual security procedures start to unravel. In that brief window of chaos, Becky sees her chance. Driven by sheer determination, she leaps away unnoticed, the escape itself frantic and risky. Every step Becky takes could be the one that gets her caught, but the fear of being stopped doesn't outweigh the powerful goal burning in her mind. She pushes forward, ignoring the danger, ignoring the consequences, and somehow she makes it out. The moment Becky crosses beyond the prison gates, the situation is instantly escalates into a race against time. Authorities quickly realize what was happened, and the alarm spreads far beyond. Police waste no time launching a full-scale search operation. Back in Weatherfield, the news spreads like wildfire. Residents hear the shocking update. Becky McDonald has escaped. The reaction across the street is immediate. Shock, confusion, and fear ripple through the community. People struggle to process the news, but the situation becomes even more terrifying when one crucial detail emerges. Becky isn't just running, she's coming back for baby Connie. Inside Becky's mind, the plan makes a kind of twisted sense. To her, Connie represents hope. The baby symbolizes a chance to reclaim the love and happiness she feels were stolen from her. In Becky's distorted perspective, taking Connie is not an act of cruelty, but an act of survival. But for everyone else, the situation is far more alarming. A baby is now at the corner center of a desperate fugitive's plan. The kidnapping unfolds in one of the most nerve-wracking sequences the show has ever delivered. Becky moves cautiously, slipping through familiar surroundings she once knows so well. Her heart pounds in her chest as she gets closer to Connie. Then the moment finally arrives. Becky takes the baby, holding little Connie in her arms. Becky whispers softly to her, promising that everything will be okay. She convinces herself that she rescuing the child, that she's the one who can give Connie the life she deserves. But the reality is much darker. Within minutes, panic erupts throughout Weatherfield. The news spreads rapidly that baby Connie has been taken. Friends, neighbors, and loved ones who once trusted Becky are now forced to face a terrifying truth. Becky has crossed a line that cannot easily be undone. Police sirens becomes echoing through the streets as few officers rush to track her down. Every second counts. Every minute that passes increases the fear that something terrible could happen. Meanwhile, Becky is already on the move, fleeing with Connie as the authorities close in. Her escape becomes chaotic and unpredictable. Fear pushes her forward, but guilt and doubt start creeping into her mind. As she runs, flashbacks begin surfacing in her thoughts. Painful memories remind viewers of the emotional wounds that led her here. The story doesn't present Becky as a simple villain. Instead, it reveals a broken woman who believes the world has abandoned her. But even desperation has limits. While hiding with Connie, Becky begins to feel the outweight of what she has done. The quiet moments are the hardest. When the baby cries, the sound cuts straight through her fragile emotional dreams. Defenses. Suddenly, fantasy of starting a new life begins to crumble. Reality sets in. She can't simply disappear. She can't run forever. At the same time, back in Weatherfield, the community refuses to give up. The residents band together, determined to bring Connie home safely. Friends, family members, and neighbors all feel the impact of the crisis. Their unity becomes a powerful reminder of the bond that holds the street together. As the hours pass, the search grows more intense. Police begin narrowing down Becky's movements. Slowly but surely, the space she has to run begins shrinking. The walls are closing in. Eventually, the inevitable confrontation arrives. And when it does, the moment is packed with emotion. Becky stands on the brink of collapse, torn between her desire to hold on to common and the crushing realization that her escape has reached it out. The dramatic standoff forces Becky to face the truth of what she's done, and it becomes one of the most unforgettable scenes Coronation Street has ever delivered. But even after immediate crisis begins to settle, the aftermath continues to shake Weatherfield. The entire community is left emotionally drained, struggling to process everything that has happened. Police continue tightening their scratch, determined to bring Becky into custody. Meanwhile, Connie's loved ones cling desperately to hope, praying the baby will be returned safely. In quiet conversations across the street, people begin reflecting on the Becky they once knew. Many remember her as fiercely protective, someone who would go to great lengths for the people she cared about. And that money makes the situation even more heartbreaking, because now the same woman is the desperate fugitive dominating every headline. Meanwhile, Becky herself is reaching her physical and emotional limits. Life on the run has run away. Ounce of strength she has left. Every distant sounds sends waves of panic through her. Every siren makes her heart race. Then, in a deeply emotional moment, Becky looks down at Connie sleeping peacefully in her arms. And finally, the reality becomes impossible to ignore. The tough exterior she's been hiding behind begins to crack. For the first time since her escape, the pain and loneliness driving her actions rise to the surface. The desperate prison break, the kidnapping, the running. It all leads to this heartbreaking realization that she has nowhere let to go. The storyline hits so hard because it isn't just about a crime. It's about how desperation can completely reshape a person. Becky's actions are undeniably wrong, but the writers take time to show the emotional layers behind them. Viewers are forced to confront an uncomfortable truth. Someone who once had a good heart can still spiral into devastating choices when they feel like they have lost everything. For Weatherfield, the fallout is enormous. Trust is shattered, relationships are strained, as a sense of safety the community once felt is suddenly gone. But the same time, the crisis brings people together. Street becomes united in one goal, protecting one of their own.